Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best Tilray community. It is Thursday, November 13th. It's been a minute. I've been super busy, and I've got a ton of interviews lined up, and yeah, just life getting in the way. I haven't been doing my regular Tilray updates, but yeah, it was getting a little challenging making a video every single day. And I did get some people saying, hey, I initially wanted a video every day, but, you don't have to keep doing that. So I did it for a good while there, but yeah, probably not realistic to do it every single day. But at least try to get out, probably 2 or 3 each and every week. But we're going to be discussing the 113 target USD that was reached today. We actually closed right at 113. And if you've been following my channel, been following my Tilray videos for a while now, you know that I've been calling for that target ever since we broke back above $2. And that, in my opinion, has to do with a multitude of factors, but we'll discuss all of that and more. We'll take a look at the price chart as well and what to expect in terms of directional price action over the days, weeks, months ahead. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, and full disclosure, I do own Tilray in my portfolio. It's my largest MJ holding. But like I said, today it was rough. We had technical patterns all showing a lot more downside. 113 was the target. We have another bearish pattern that's forming on the chart, which is saying we could see 99 cents. And we have the hemp ban, the government kind of reopening, sell the news event, which I mentioned yesterday. So all of these things, no news is bad news. We're not getting any rescheduling updates. So again, all of these things kind of cumulative effect, not helping the share prices across the sector. And you can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. So again, I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the price action toward the end of the video, but I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Tangem. So if you're into crypto, which a lot of companies are adding crypto to their balance sheets as treasury assets, Tilray included. If you're into crypto, this is a great way to do your own self-custody. So I've got the ring and the 3-card set. Absolutely love this product. Wouldn't recommend it if I didn't use it. It's super cheap. You can use code POW, get 10% off, and it's still showing 15 off ring code as well. So you can combine the two and get 25% off the ring and free shipping. So like I said, check that out. The link will be in the description and in the comment section. It helps support the channel as well. So I posted this video back on November 4th. That was my last update. And I said, Tilray Brands, 113 USD next support. And as you can see right here, we closed at 113 USD today. So again, is it because I have a crystal ball? No, we're just looking at the technical patterns, trying to look at the chart with an unbiased view, right? Obviously, I want the chart to go to $100 and beyond yesterday. I want it to go up more than the next person. I'm a very large shareholder of Tilray, but I want to be real with everybody, and it's important that we tame our emotions and learn how to kind of analyze the chart, because it can help just on the way down, right? It's even, let's say, for example, your bags are packed and you're not planning to buy any more Tilray. Well, if you know that there's multiple chart patterns saying that we could see more downside from here, it's going to help you psychologically, mentally. It's going to help with stress if you know that, we could be expecting a drop. So it's a way to have an edge on the market. But obviously, if you know that, the price is at $2, 175, and we have a bearish target, multiple bearish targets saying $1.13, $1.30. Well, if you're looking to buy at 130 or at 175, $2, well, maybe you're going to wait and be a little bit more patient, right? So it can help with your entries, essentially, right? And exits, obviously, if you're looking to exit, you can use the chart for that as well. If things start to show overbought, then you might look to lock in some profit. But I did post this video as well. This was a while ago. This was October 16th, and I said if we get no news with regards to rescheduling, that was the topic of this video, essentially, was no news is bad news. So no news meant if we don't get rescheduling enacted or better, then essentially everything was just going to continue to fade, and that's exactly what happened. And then I posted this video yesterday. It was an XRP crypto video, but I said, watch before tomorrow. Could the spot ETF be a sell the news, and also the government shutdown be a sell the news, which I mentioned? And that's exactly what it was. So the stock market sold off on a sell the news event from the government shutdown. Everybody thinks it's going to be bullish. The government's reopening, market sell off, right? Typical. It's kind of that contrarian mindset. That's exactly what happened. And the XRP ETF sold off, and so did XRP. So bang on, pretty much exactly what I said in that video played out to a T. But this was the post from 2 days ago, on Remembrance Day, November 11th, here in Canada. Tilray Brands condemns misguided prohibitionist measures and champions responsible hemp regulations that keep consumers safe and businesses thriving. But apparently Congress and the administration had other plans, and they went against that and said, hey, we're going to sign a bill that recriminalizes hemp psychoactive component products, so intoxicating hemp products, and HD9. So effectively closing the hemp loophole. Now, this combined with the S&P 500 being weak, the government shutdown, sell the news, no news is bad news, not getting any rescheduling. All of these things kind of combined together have been really hurting the share price, right? Obviously. So this, I don't think it's that big of a deal. We were discussing this in the Power Group private community today, that, this loophole, this patchwork just is not good for business, right? You can't have multiple states with different laws and regulations. Look at Molson Coors. They got out of the drink business in the U.S. and CBD drinks and all that stuff because MJ infused beverages, because it was just too cumbersome. It was too difficult. They said every state's different, right? So they said, we're getting out, but we're not down and out. Like, we might get back into it, but it's so onerous, right? There's so many different states and laws and regulations and federal laws, and there's a lot going on. So I think that the fact that they're closing this loophole is a good thing. I mean, you shouldn't be able to have hemp-derived products at gas stations and whatnot. And yes, they say they're age gating, but a lot of the times they don't. And a lot of the times it's, people working at these convenience stores are, they're just there for their minimum wage, and they're just there, as a student, and they don't really care, right? So at the end of the day, I do think they have to crack down on it, but pass sensible, common sense regulation and regulate it all. Hemp, MJ, it's all one plant, so regulate it the same. Regulate it at the cannabinoid level, and yeah, this might encourage them to do so. So essentially, it's going to push it out a year, so they have a year leeway, but that might give them time to get something done here. And I do think that rescheduling, another thing that you have to keep in mind too, is next year's the midterms. So if they don't do nothing for a whole year, that's promises made, promises not kept. So I do think they're going to want to get rescheduling done before the midterms, and also safer banking, which could pave the way for more broader reform. And we'll see if we get some sort of kind of more concrete legislative language and bills that come and really define clear rules of the road for this. But I'm going to be interviewing Anthony Martinelli as well of the MJ Herald next week, and I'll discuss more towards the end of the video regarding that. But Tilray did come out and say Tilray Brands confirms no material revenue impact from the federal hemp-derived psychoactive component ban, so intoxicating hemp products. So a lot of people are saying, why isn't Tilray getting into gummies? And I mentioned in my first interview with Erwin Simon, CEO of Tilray, I asked if they were going to be getting into gummies in the U.S. and HD9 and hemp-derived, and he said, yeah, we're looking at it. But kind of taking a step back now, this looks pretty smart on their behalf that they didn't get too into it, right? Some companies, like, for example, Canopy and Cureleaf, they're really into the hemp-derived intoxicating products right now. So that could have a material impact on them, but Tilray confirms that there's no material revenue impact because they haven't really dove 100% into it. And like he said in the video, in the interview, multiple interviews, he said they don't like playing the guessing game, right? They want to know what the rules and regulations are, and they don't want things changing all the time, right? And I think that's a smart way of thinking about it. So some other companies, you got Trulieve, you got Green Thumb, you got Organogram selling hemp drinks in the U.S. as well. So we'll see what other companies start to say regarding material impacts. But while we were disappointed of the federal budget, including a ban on hemp-derived intoxicating hemp products, Tilray Brands affirms that this measure does not have a material impact on the company's revenue or financial outlook. Tilray remains committed to advocating for responsible regulation that protects consumers, promotes product integrity, and supports the long-term health of the industry. And you got to think, just because there's a few bad actors in the hemp industry and the, forging these fake COAs, certificate of authenticity, and all this stuff, right? It's doesn't mean that everybody's a bad actor, and all the more reason for regulation. It's just ridiculous. But as a diversified global CPG leader, we will continue engaging with policymakers and industry partners to advance balanced regulatory frameworks that foster innovation, stability, and sustain shareholder value. Because, yeah, that's all they're doing right now is just stifling innovation And in my opinion, it's by design, right? It's to slow down the industry. They know they can't stop it. They sure as hell can still slow it down. Case in point, with this hemp ban and all the lack of follow through with, can't even get rescheduling, right? Let alone, safer banking and uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ and full blown legalization. Can't even figure out what schedule it's on. It shouldn't even be scheduled, in my opinion. But yeah, neither here nor there. It's frustrating, I know, but it is what it is. We'll just continue kicking the can down the road. Like I said, they can't stop it. They can slow it down, and that's so that big pharma, alcohol, and tobacco can swoop in and get everything pennies on the dollar and get their filthy paws all over it, and then they'll come in and make the most money. And they're being disrupted. They have the most to lose, so therefore, it'll happen whenever they're ready, in my opinion, and when the administration is ready. It's not going to be because the people want it, right? No, it could be 99% of the citizens want it, but no. Governments don't operate that way. Governments do. They're supposed to be there and work for the people, but they don't, right? We know that they'll do it when they're damn well ready, and they're just not ready yet. So, like I said, we had multiple patterns. We had a head and shoulders target 113. We hit that target. We had an hourly bear flag. We had a daily bear flag here targeting 135. We had our hourly bear flag targeting 129. We hit that. Now we have another daily bear flag target saying 99 cents. So that's looking like the next, or just under $1. So $1 psychological, that's the next major level of support, and we are approaching daily oversold. So that could be a nice bottom to target there. One thing I want to bring up here as well is the monthly time frame. So we knew that monthly consolidation was going to come eventually, and we still hadn't confirmed a monthly uptrend. So at this point, you could still make the case that this is a monthly downtrend, but this could be one massive inverse head and shoulders here on the monthly. We'll keep tabs on that, but we are starting monthly consolidation. That just means that we're losing the low of the previous candle. It's on the monthly, so it's monthly consolidation. And you can see here we have no monthly support all the way down to 35 cents. So once we start that bounce, we had our low, high, higher low. We're looking for a higher low. And we were discussing this in the Pow Group private community today, that this could potentially be a monthly bull flag, but it needs to get going. It needs to bounce ASAP. And I'm just making sure everything is on log scale, which it is. And I'm just going to delete these drawings here because it gets a little cumbersome there. It gets pretty crowded. So if we go from the low to the high there, you can see we're right on the 0.32 fib. So we were discussing this in the Pow Group private community today. Do I think that a monthly bull flag is the most likely scenario? Well, no, because typically a bull flag is a bullish continuation pattern. We're not in a uptrend right now. So that decreases the odds of a bullish continuation pattern, because you want to be in an uptrend for a continuation pattern to play out a bullish one, right? If you're in a downtrend, well, bull flags are much less common and frequent and chance of playing out, versus if you're in a downtrend and you have a bear flag, well, you're going to be very confident in that playing out, right? So again, just kind of calling a spade, and with the broader market being shaky, the rest of the sector being shaky, with the hemp ban and everything, a lack of rescheduling, I don't see this as the most likely scenario. What I see, but technically, let's say we do hold we'll say 110. Let's say we hold 110 and we break resistance here at 232, then that's a monthly uptrend confirmed and a monthly bull flag, and you'd be looking at a move up to around $7.23. I don't think that's the most likely scenario, though, given all of the bearish factors that I just mentioned. So what I would anticipate, and then, like I said, we have that new daily bear flag saying 99 cents. So I would anticipate the most likely scenario is somewhere around 90 cents to 75 cents. We form a monthly high or low, and then we try to change the trend and see that monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. That's what I think is the most likely scenario. We did have a massive warning sign here as well. We had a Pow Algo alert go off saying we had a bearish triple thunder. So we had a 2-week heads up. So back on the week of October 27th, that was when we had a major red flag, right? We lost the 10-week moving average, the stochastic, and the MACD on the weekly cross bearish. That Pow Algo alert was extremely, was a very early heads up, essentially, right? And we had the bull cross with the bullish triple thunder when the price closes above the 10-week moving average, the stochastic, and the MACD cross bullish on the weekly. When all three happen simultaneously, we get the alert. That fired off when we were at around 55 cents. Then we went all the way up to $2.30. Then we had the flip side of that, where we had the bearish triple thunder, and now we're seeing a bunch of downside. But, given the fact that we're still 100% higher than when the bullish triple thunder occurred. And we are approaching the 50 weekly there at 90 cents. So there's a lot of support there. And we have the 200-day moving average at 85 cents. So I think somewhere around that 90 to 75 cent area is the most likely scenario to scout a monthly higher low. Again, I know it's not what everybody wants to hear, but you don't tune in for the clickbait and the hopium. I know come on here and just tell you everything's going to the moon, yesterday and tomorrow, because that's what a lot of content creators get paid to do, right? That they get paid for viewership. And if the thumbnail says we're going to 113 from, if we're at 150 and I say we're going to 113, well, people start disliking my video and they don't watch it. And, it's just, so that's not why I'm here. I'm not here for views, clicks, and money and all that stuff. I'm here to give you the most honest, analysis and my true, honest opinion and, just my genuine belief in where the charts are heading. And fortunately, it's not looking good. I don't think the monthly bull flag is the most likely scenario. I'd love to be wrong on that. But just as a reminder, I will be interviewing Hugo Alves for a third time on the channel on Wednesday, November 19th. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. And I'll be interviewing Anthony Martinelli, the founder of the MJ Herald, as well on Tuesday, the 18th. So again, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. And the Black Friday sale is live now. You can get 25% off the VIP. So if you just go to this link here, just click on posts on the channel. There'll be links for this in the description as well. Just click on the link and you'll get 25% off the VIP. That gives you a year access bundle pass. You bundle the algo alerts with the group access. So you get access to the group and the algo alerts for 1 year. All right, going into it there, it's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Let me know what you think of this news in the comment section below, and we'll continue the conversation there, and we'll see you on the next video.